Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the Wounds to Wisdom podcast. I'm your host, George, and this is Bern.
Well, welcome back. We have Julie joining us today. Julie has some wonderful stories to tell, and she's also a reflexologist, which is how I met her, having her wonderful healing hands on my feet. Do you want to tell us a bit about yourself, Julie?
I'm a past life regression therapist, soul regression therapist, do reflexology. I started doing reflexology, massage and aromatherapy 25 years ago.
Whoa.
No wonder you're so damn good at it.
I trained, that was my original training, and then the other stuff has fallen into place. I did Reiki, I did... I don't know, I've done all sorts of different things, sound healing. The hypnotherapist I did during COVID. So just before COVID, I decided I wanted to be a hypnotherapist because I gave up the massage. How can I grow my business? And the hypnotherapy just seemed to fall into my lap like it does. And hypnotherapy, then past life regression, soul regression. We do hypnotherapy for sleep, for fears, phobias, smoking. I don't like saying weight loss, so we say body management. All sorts of things like that. And I suppose I've just grown with it. The readings I've done, I've always had angels around me as my thing would be from a very young child.
Okay.
I can always remember.
That was my next question so how did this all start for you?
Hold on, can we just take a minute? You're a woman of many trades.
Many modalities.
Many.
It's just been a journey. It's been so it all starts 25 years ago. I had breast cancer, so I was 32, had breast cancer, and going through my journey of the breast cancer, the radiotherapy, chemotherapy, more chemo, mastectomy, reconstruction. Even there, that situation was, I felt supported spiritually, is probably the only way I can put it. I didn't understand at that point and know what it was. From a young child, there's always the story that my mum always used to share, bless her, that we were cleaning my grandparents' graves, or my great-grandparents' graves, in the local churchyard in England, and they lost me. I was 5, and I'm sat at the feet of the angel talking to her. So I've always had them around me. I've always known about, and I've always seen and had spirits around me. But for such a long time, I blocked it because I didn't know. I was scared. And I suppose as I've started to open up, so many different avenues have opened up for me. And sometimes you stand there going, oh, do I, don't you? You go, let's do it. If it's there and you're ready, let's do it.
Follow the curiosity. Yeah. Wow. So let's talk a bit about the breast cancer journey then, because I think I don't even know, would that have influenced where you went and what you've done?
Probably, yes. Okay. Yeah, I think so, because like I said, I felt supported. There were times going through my journey where I wasn't meant to live. I was very, very sick. And even as sick as I was and delirious at some points, I always felt like I was surrounded.
Yeah.
And I suppose going through my journey is one thing that I always turn around and say, life is what life is. I'm not scared to die.
Yeah.
I've faced that fear a few times, and now at the point, it sounds terrible, I'm ready when the time happens.
Yeah.
Yes, there will still be, I suppose, a little bit of apprehension, but I don't have that. What's going to happen? I know what's going to happen. I know I'm supported. I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
So to me, it's just another stepping stone, another time in my life that's going to move forward.
Mm-hmm. So facing your mortality, you said you've done that more than once.
Yeah.
Would you like to share?
Well, having my breast cancer diagnosis at 32, and it was as simple as I had a lump in my right breast. I was in the shower and bless my lovely children who are now adults, one of them had nicked my scrunchie. So I literally squished the liquid on my hand and just rubbed under my armpits, across my boobs, like you do, you know, us women do that most mornings. And I went, oh, that's a bit lumpy. Simple as that. Just
Wow.
I went through 6 treatments of chemotherapy, 36 treatments of radiotherapy, another 2 treatments of chemotherapy, to the point where my body just shut down. I was in hospital. I was on bone marrow injections. I was on blood transfusions. I was on antibiotics. I picked up a virus. This was the second time. The second time was the worst. I picked up a virus. I had 2 young children.
Yeah.
One was 8, one was 10. And I just got really sick. And that was probably, I can remember being at the hospital and just all these lights and things around me. And my husband sat there with a face as white as a ghost. And I'm like, I'm going to be okay. It's okay. Even my diagnosis, it's okay. And they all look at me going, but it's not okay, Julie. You don't realise, no, it's okay.
Wow.
And it was like, okay. I was given 3 years after the original diagnosis. I was told I'd be lucky if I get through the first 3 years. And I'm still here. So there's a reason behind it.
I can just not imagine being given that type of like prognosis and going, well, I'm only 30-something. I have young children. I have a whole life to live. I would not know what to do with that information.
Well, I planned my own funeral.
Wow.
I planned my own funeral. We had
How
everything
empowering
planned.
is that, though?
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah. Because
husband
in doing
hated
that, I know, right? I have another friend that has done exactly the same thing.
I told him.
But that was for her empowering, because it was like, I'm good. It was almost like it was a process that as you do it, it is like just releasing all that fear, all that worry, all that stress. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very much like I went through some horrific times where I was stuck in different places and in hospitals and things like that, where I didn't see the children as much as I wanted to and things like that. But the power to go, okay, yep, I've got this planned. And I'm very much that sort of person. So I plan, I work. And so it was very much like I've planned it. And I honestly think the love for my children and my husband were what got me through it.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're not from Australia originally.
No, I'm from England.
So at what stage did you come to Australia? Just to sort of get a timeline there.
In my 40s, so my brother and sister-in-law moved over. We came on holiday because I was menopausal. Because of the treatment, I was thrown straight into menopause because it was estrogen receptive. So with me being so young, the estrogen was making it grow quicker. So yes, we came over on holiday to see my brother and sister-in-law, and we came over first time it was winter and it was lovely. Came over the second time it was Christmas. Oof. I coped. And my husband and my children loved it and wanted to move over, and I still was very uncertain. But my mum said to me, Ju, if you don't give it a go, you're never going to know. She said, I'm not going to be the one that holds you back. And I said, okay. And she said, always remember you can always come home, which I haven't done, so. And I wouldn't go back. I'd go back on holiday, but not to live. But
yeah. Wow. So you found a second home.
Oh, I love it over here. I do love it. And my health's been better.
Yeah.
So in England with the cold and the damp, because I have burns to the bottom half of my right lung.
Okay.
From the radiotherapy.
Yeah.
I was always chest infections, coughs, colds, antibiotics. Over here, touch wood. Not very often. Not very often am I sick in that way. So.
But you've been given the all clear now.
Given the all clear.
Nice. Okay.
I go for checkups every year.
Yeah.
But yeah. So now it's the process of keeping an eye on my daughter to make sure she keeps up an eye on the checkups.
Yeah. So were you doing your work back in England as well?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. I was doing readings and doing a little bit of healing, but didn't quite know. And crystal work. So my crystal work, I've always had a love of crystals. So always done that, but never quite understood and had the training and the knowledge that I do.
Yeah.
It's like chakra balancing with your pendulum and pendulum work and things like that. I knew how to do it. I have a knowledge of things that I know how to do them. People will go to a workshop and people go, this, and I go, yeah, I know how to do that. Yeah, I already do that. It's like,
So remembering.
yeah, it is. It's so funny. It's like, it's like,
I've done this before.
the witch comes out.
Yes. Yes.
The witch comes out and you go. We always used to laugh in England because I had a friend in England and she was just said to me, "You're a white witch," because of the aromatherapy, and I'd make up these weird blends, and the girls would go, "What are you doing?" I don't know. I just know that it's that, and that mixes with that, and that makes you feel like that, and that helps that, and that. And they go, "I don't know." Just don't know. But
Yeah, and I find it's getting quiet enough to be able to follow the nudgings of your soul. You know what I mean? They're always there, but because our lives are so busy and so jam-packed and so full, we just don't have enough quiet time to be able to hear those nudgings.
That's
enough.
right. And quite often they'll keep nudging until until such point as for me, I've had 2 hip replacements. It's all to do with the cancer treatment and everything else, and I'm fine. But I broke my ankle in 3 places 2 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Was it during? No, it was during COVID. It was during COVID, so it'd be 5 years ago. I stepped off a little tiny step, and rolled my ankle, broke it in 3 places. Didn't even know.
That slowed you up real quick.
Oh, it did. It made me stop, and that was a real shock to my sister.
Yeah.
They say, "You are not listening."
Oh, they do that. You are not listening.
Yeah.
They put blocks up, and it's like, but why? But why? I want to do that because I'm very stubborn. I want to do that, and it's like, no, you're not doing it. It's like, okay, just surrender to it. We'll see what happens. And
You sound like my husband. He will get physically ill and bedridden because he will not stop. He doesn't want to. I've got to do this and I've got to do that.
his body.
He's been sick, like bedridden, sick, antibiotic sick twice this year. Last year, nothing. He went all year. But this year, they're really like, you're not slowing down. You're not slowing down. You got to slow down. And he goes, no, I can't slow down. Got to keep going. Got stuff to do.
I think we're all getting that call to slow down, to reassess, slow down, and just... We're here to enjoy life.
Yep.
We're here to learn, grow and evolve and have some fun.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
But it just seems that there's always something to be done. There's always somewhere to go or children to pick up or take to practice or whatever it is. And we just seem to spend our life, on the go.
Yes.
Rather than slowing it down.
Something that I'm really realizing is that unless you're taught that, you don't know it. Like, I know I wasn't taught that, and I'm now realizing I don't know how to be present. I find that I am not here majority of the time. And I don't know when to stop. I just go and I go and I go because that's what I've seen and that's what I know.
It's a taught behaviour. So when we do the hypnosis, it's a taught behaviour. So what we do with hypnosis, we unteach those behaviours, unteach those fears and phobias, because it's monkey see, monkey do. Because everybody else around you's doing it, you feel that it's okay for you to do it. But it's that the old analogy is, if someone told you to jump off a bridge because everybody else is doing it, would you do it? It's having that time to just bring yourself back to being present. And sometimes it's as simple as 10 minutes a day with the Insight Timer app was one I've used for a long time, but Spotify, again, is one that you just find a calming meditation that just gives you that 10 minutes. Quite often with clients, depending on what we're dealing with, I will give them a meditation/hypnosis which they take home, and it helps them sleep, it helps to calm them. It's just teaching ways to just have that 5 minutes and a lot less anxiety.
And I like that you say it is that short 5 minutes or taking that 10 minutes, because when I started really looking and reviewing my life, I'm like, wow, I have no rituals, no practices, no time for myself, no self-care. And then I went overboard and thought that it had to be this massive thing and these big rituals, but it's not sustainable. So having those 5-10 minute even I love the frequency music as well.
It's beautiful.
Just having that on in the
use a lot of
background
that,
is
yeah.
Just taking a cup of tea outside and putting your feet on the ground and getting some sun of a morning. That's a perfect way to start yourself centered rather than in everybody else's energy. And then if you can do that at lunchtime or at morning tea or at afternoon tea or those little intervals where you can just come back and recenter yourself, because things can get hectic at work and we can be pushed and poked and prodded and you know, aggravated by bosses or whatever. But if we've got that 5 minutes to just breathe and come back to our centres, I think that's amazing. And you throw frequency into the mix. It's amazing. Yeah,
it's amazing.
It helps to soothe the body. I don't think we've ever been taught how to regulate.
oh no, God no.
No, not in a way that is beneficial. Is probably the way I'm gonna. Yeah.
Have you got any tips on how people can regulate their systems?
So I do, because I work with clients quite a lot, and even just being out shopping, you'll notice how your moods change, how you feel the energy around you will feel heavy, sicky, whatever. I will always jump in the shower. So, as you know, I do Salt and Soul on Tuesday, and I literally will get home. The first thing I do is strip off, jump in the shower, and I cut my cords. Whatever's been there for the day, take away, let it go, and just let the water flow. And that's my time to decompress. One of my favourite albums I've listened to since the cancer, and I have it on most of the time, is Bliss 100,000 Angels. That, to me, I breathe to it. I do my breathing exercises to it, and it just calms me down.
Breath, I think, is one of the biggest key factors to taking you out of your nervous system and into your back into your parasympathetic system. And it just is simple 5 deep breaths down, right down as far as you can get them in for, what is it, the 4? Is it the
4 box breathing?
Whole box breathing.
Yep.
That's it. If you can do that, 3, 4, 5 times a day, laughing, that will regulate the system back each time you do that. And I think that's a really good one that you could teach children.
But that shower one,
oh yeah,
it is so simple, but I never would have thought of that. And for someone who is up in everybody's shit all the time, that's so easy. That's so doable.
Yeah, I do that quite a bit.
But even before you leave the house, when you're up in the morning, I'm very English. I literally get up in the morning, have a cup of tea.
Oh, I love my tea, yes.
So I sit with my cup of tea on my bed, and I put myself in my white bubble.
Yep.
That's my protection for the day. And the getting home and getting in the shower is, I know my protection's worked, but it still releases any negativity that anyone knowingly or unknowingly has given me. I've released it. It's not mine anymore.
It's very conscious living.
And that's what I'm struggling with, because I'm not present. Because I'm like, yes, I know about bubbling up and putting my little suit on and white lighting. And I'm like, but I don't do it. When I leave the house, I just leave the house. I'm open. Come get me.
Yeah,
that's
and
pretty
that's
much what I do. Yeah.
Yes, I've been doing a lot of work with a 5-year-old this last 2 weeks because she's picked something up.
Yeah.
And having nightmares and not sleeping and things like that. And yes, it's not been very nice.
Been there, done that. It's great stuff.
That's because from 0 to 7, we are completely still tapped into the spirit world. So, and if you have parents that aren't spiritually minded or have been taught different ways as they've been growing up, then it can be quite, like for us, I had no idea about all this stuff when the kids were growing up, and both my two had what would you call it? Just events.
Yeah, I call mine an event because I don't know what else to call it. It was an event, an awakening, and it was frightening, scary. You wake up in the middle of the night, 12 years old, and there's all these dark figures in your room. Absolutely not. Shut that shit off. No way. I think Chelsea was a bit for lack of a better word, a bit luckier because hers happened a lot later on in your journey. So you were a lot more knowledgeable. You were able to support her through that.
Yeah.
Whereas me, I was like, oh my God, I'm schizophrenic.
Yeah.
I'm seeing things.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, back then it had a completely adverse.
We
didn't know any better.
Didn't know any better. Yeah. No idea.
No.
I was 5 and I can remember the Victorian people walking through my bedroom. I was petrified.
It's scary, hey?
I used to pull the sheet up and hide from them.
Yeah, if you can't see them, they can't see you. Yeah. I know.
But I was never, it's really weird, but I was never afraid of walking through we call them churchyards, graveyards. I was
the cemetery.
And these graves, because the English churches are really, really old.
Yeah.
And never afraid to walk through the graveyard on my own, though.
Interesting. Do you reckon it was because your bedroom was your safe space and they were coming into your safe space?
Yeah. But I'd wake up night after night screaming, going, they're coming to get me. And now I understand that they were coming. They were showing me they were there, but at that point I was petrified.
Yeah.
So did you have parents that were that way inclined as well?
Oh, gosh, no. We grew up, we think this is from my dad's side of the family, but we grew up very churchy. We went to church on a Sunday, Sunday school. You did, the local church was 5-10 minutes down the road, you know, and you went, there was no ifs or buts, you went.
Yeah.
We had a big family Bible, the whole works.
Wow.
So how did you deal with it? You just hid underneath the sheets a lot?
I just shut it down. And that's the whole thing is, I think until the age of 5, I was extremely open. And then once I started to, I would say, see spirit, now that I realise, I was scared. And in my teens, I shut everything down. I didn't like it, didn't want to be.
Is that because you believe you were taught a different belief?
Yep.
Yeah? Well, and can you explain to us what belief you were taught?
Well, I was taught that, you know, when you die, you die. There's nothing, and as terrible as that sounds, when you die, you die. You know, Christ was resurrected, but you didn't resurrect because you weren't of that level, if that makes sense. So, yes, I've always seen angels and always known they're around me, but in a way I was always, you're just a bit whimsical, Julie. You're just a bit whimsical. You just, you know. But when you have them around you, you know. You know, you have them guide you into different things and you just know. But until I was really thick, I think I didn't understand what was going on and what they were showing me.
And what changed then?
I think when I was dying at points where I nearly died, I just knew I was supported.
Okay.
I knew I was supported. I could feel them around me.
Okay.
So
is that when you opened back up to it all? Or
just after? It was really strange. Just after a friend came over and she said to me, I know you believe in angels. I said, I've always believed in angels. I said, I've always known they're around me. She said, and she introduced me to Bliss 100,000 Angels. And I started listening to that. And then my son, we were walking and we walked past a metaphysical shop and there was all cards. And he brought me the Doreen Virtue, was it the daily guidance cards? And he said to me, Mum, you need these. And I'm like, no, I don't do that sort of thing. No. I'm thinking, gosh, my parents would be so bloody embarrassed. No, don't do this, don't do that.
Why would they be so embarrassed?
Oh, it's not the sort of thing we were. Do you know what I mean? You went to church, you didn't do stuff outside of that sort of thing.
So what was it seen to be? Was it wrong or evil? What was it frowned upon?
It's that, you know, if you believe in that, you're over there, you're in the witchy corner when you stay over in the witchy.
It's almost like the sacrilegiousness of it.
Yeah. I'm just wondering with the different cultures.
Yeah.
It's obviously a total whitewash ban right across, and that's how it's seen, because that is pretty much the mainstream of how people see it.
Yeah.
But until you actually begin to touch it and understand it and have it come into your life, they have no idea how much it can be enriching in your life.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And the thing is, the more you open up, the more, like with myself, I don't call myself a medium. I just say I'm a tarot reader, but whoever needs to come through or whatever you need to be told will happen while I'm doing the session. I do channel. I know I channel. I just, whatever is there for you will be there for you. And that's how I work. So we'll be doing a reading and I'll go, okay, what happened then? What's this? This is showing me this. What's this? So we do a reading. I have the cards on the table, but I digress onto different things in all different planets and all different worlds.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, yep. And they look at me and
Yeah.
go, okay. I don't do a basic reading. It's whatever is
Whatever
there.
comes up.
Is
Yeah.
But they're the best readings.
Yeah. See, I always say it's our natural state.
yeah.
We're just coming home to who
Yes,
we truly
yes,
are.
yes.
And in doing that, you're finding your power again, your power source.
Yes. Yeah. Working with it.
So for me, it's incredibly exciting where the world is going and there's so much more coming up and so much more happening for people when they open up to spirit, whatever you want to call it, spirit, source, God. Because there's interesting conversations I had around religion and spirituality. And I said, well, it's one and the same. It doesn't really make any difference. That you don't want people to be separated. We're all one. And whatever you believe is okay. I don't have to have an opinion on it. That's your belief. And I think that's brilliant that you have a belief system. And I wouldn't expect you to come over to my side just because I have a different belief. And I think that's where we get it terribly wrong in society, is that we always feel like we've got to impress our opinions onto someone else or our culture or our this. It's like, you do you and I'll do me. And
I've done that a few times.
Have you?
Yes, so I worked at the Hyperdome. A friend of mine, she's just reopened her shop at Capalaba Park. I was working there one day and this lady come in. It's a crystal shop where we do readings and we sell that sort of stuff. And she came in and I was doing a reading. I got up, just finished with this lady, took her up to the till to get something, and I walked back down to go towards the table and she's gone, you know what you do is really demonic. And I went, oh, okay, is it? And she said something and I went, do you know what, love? You do you, I'll do me. I said, just because I do my spiritual stuff, I said, doesn't mean I don't believe in God. I said, I believe in what I believe in, you believe in what you believe in. Let's be happy to just leave it there. And she just looked at me and walked out the shop. And I went, okay.
But that's a perfect way to explain it to people. It's like, I don't have to impress upon you and you don't have to impress upon me. We just got to be respectful of each other's views.
So you had like the ultimate surrender with your awakening, I suppose, or your reawakening.
Yes.
Because it was the I could die, I may die. And it was just a whole surrender. I think that's really beautiful though.
It was, if now's my time, now's my time.
Yeah.
People around me didn't cope very well with it.
Yeah.
But I was ready. And it's left me now with the fact that people say to me, I'm so scared of dying. I'm so scared. And I go, but why? Why are you scared? Because if you're in your soul, this is why the soul regression, I just love it. If you're in your soul, when you go back to your soul, the people that are meant to be there, or the souls that are meant to be there, will be there for you. They'll be there with you. They'll guide you.
I think that's what we're not taught, is that we are souls having a human experience, not humans having a soul experience.
Definitely.
And souls are energy, and energy can never be broken or it lives on forever and ever and ever. Yeah. So I think understanding that for me was huge because I come from the Catholic background as well, and there was kaput, that's it, you're done. And I used to lay in bed and I would cry myself to sleep. It would frighten the hell out of me as a child. I spent a lot of nights really scared about death. And it's something that until you empower yourself and do your own research and come up with your own conclusions, do you actually find, I think, peace and faith? Because the faith then begins to cultivate.
It's different.
From that tiny little seed, because you're no longer fearing the unknown, but you're beginning to cultivate a faith that comes from, I'm okay with death.
It's an acceptance.
Because I'm not going to die. My soul lives on. Just the physical part of me dies. Yeah. That whole, you only get one life and you got to live it. It's just like, yeah, but let's put that into context, We had many, 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 many lives and, and there's lots and lots of different versions. But I always say to people, do your research. Yeah. I think that's where Chelsea's at. Chelsea's at that point where she's fearful of death as well. And I said, just start to do your research. Dolores Cannon, incredible woman.
Oh,
she
awesome.
did, was the pioneer in hypnosis regression and began to find that hang on a minute, our life that person's life didn't finish here. We went back into another life and then another life, and it was like, holy crap. So it opened up a whole other world and belief and possibility of...
See, Brian Weiss was my inspiration, I want to say. And then... I can't remember his name. The Lives Between Lives.
Yes.
The soul regression that I was taught that I follow is the lives between lives. Yep. So you see the lives between lives. So you have that understanding. And I can't remember the guy's name, so I do apologise for that. But a lot of his stuff is very much where the soul lets go, and his case studies and things like that are just absolutely phenomenal.
I've actually given my book to Chelsea and I said, just start reading it. It's a really easy read because he writes it as practitioner, asking questions.
As the Brian Weiss ones, yep.
It was incredible. So I don't know whether she's read it or not, but we haven't sort of had that conversation.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant.
When people are ready, of course, not before you're ready, I cannot recommend past life regression enough. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed it, like, so good.
And it is not the practitioner doing it. It is you doing it, coming down into a theta state of mind.
Do you want to explain hypnosis a little bit more for people that don't know? Because I know that when I say I've had a past life regression, people go, oh, how was the hypnosis? And I'm like, I was there.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah.
So
that side of the hypnosis is about being relaxed. It's not about being in trance under my control, things like that. You are totally aware of what's going on around you. You are still in control. So the idea is to just relax you. And we always say being in hypnosis is about being relaxed. So we will relax your mind and your body to a point where the mind starts to just relax. So the conscious mind will just drift and wander, do whatever it needs to do, because it's the unconscious mind that we want to work with. The unconscious mind holds all your memories, all your keys in each and every lifetime that you've lived. So that's how I always sort of... But the hypnosis is just about being relaxed. We do hypnosis for sleep. So we always say, listen to the sound of my voice. And as you listen to the sound of my voice, you will feel yourself relaxing more and more. And it's as simple as that. You will not, under hypnosis, do anything that your body, your brain will not allow you to do.
Yeah, I think that's the general consensus, is that they see the people who get up on stage and do
You're going to make
that
me
is
clack
not
a chicken.
what it's like. No. No, we're not going to have you clucking like a chicken. No, that's not what it's about. It is literally bringing you down into that theta state, isn't it?
Yeah,
and
the
being
theta
relaxed,
state
so that
is
the
relaxing.
monkey brain just sort of goes off
Because
to
it
the
has a little
side,
wonder all on its own.
and you can tap into your unconscious side.
And work out the patterns and reasons for
Totally.
the behaviours that we can then learn to work with and deal with, I suppose,
Yeah.
if there's
Yeah.
an issue behind
And I
it.
don't think most people know that there is that side to us, that is, you know, a lot of the things we do it for a reason.
Yep.
A lot of our bad habits, a lot of our toxic habits, a lot of the things that we do come from somewhere. And
Well, it can be taught behaviours in this life that we
Correct.
need to release,
Yep.
smoking, things like that. It can be habits and things that have happened in past lives. One of my biggest ones is I had a lady who had a really bad shoulder, and I did Reiki with her. I did healing with her. I did crystal healing with her. I did sound healing with her. And week, I think we did about 4 weeks. And all of a sudden I said to her, come and do a past life. And she's like, oh, I said, no, we'll do a past life. I said, there's a reason behind this. I see something around this that it needs to be. And she'd been stabbed in the shoulder with a spear.
oh wow,
And she
So she'd had a
held on to that.
Spear in the shoulder. So it was
Yeah.
really amazing. And once she released that, within 2 weeks, the shoulder started to
Yeah.
really heal.
Yeah.
there are so many modalities out there now that can help you tap into that unconscious side of ourselves.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Like a little story time to let you know that you're in complete control under like hypnosis.
Yep.
I have a very active mind. So when I did my past life regression, the lady who did it had to pull me back 3 times, I think, because I had wandered. My conscious mind had wandered, and she's like, "Are you listening to me?" And I'm like, "No, there were sounds outside, and I had to focus on that. I'm so sorry." She goes, "No, we're doing this now. You've got to focus." And I'm like, "But a butterfly." So yeah, you're completely in control.
Yeah, it's that squirrel analogy, isn't it? Oh, there's a squirrel. Oh, no, I'm meant to be driving. Oh, no, there's another squirrel. There's something.
Mine's shiny things.
Oh, yep, sparklies.
I love shiny things.
If you've tried past life, I would say try the soul regression, because it takes you deeper, and it gives you that little bit more. For me, it helps to allay the fears of death, because it puts you back with your soul group, your soul family.
Interesting. Because you've done both. You've done a past life and a soul regression.
Oh God, I've done so much work now.
I'm so sorry.
Yes. No,
So sorry.
no, I just
Like, damn.
I think so. I think I don't know.
I have
Because
a feeling-
when Julie said that, I was like, that's interesting. I don't know.
I had to have a think. I've only done one, and I do believe it was a past life regression. But I have a feeling you've done both, because I think you started with your past life regression, and then you went back for a soul regression. But I don't
God,
think
we're
it.
talking years and years
Yeah, it was
ago.
long
And I
time
normally-
ago.
Modalities and modalities ago.
Yep. Well, normally with the soul regression and the past life, I normally say have a past life regression.
Yeah.
And a week to 2 weeks later, have your soul regression, because and you would have found the same with your past life regression. It takes a good week to 10 days to actually process
Oh yeah.
what was going on and what you were shown, and how
Oh, yeah.
it integrates into your life right now. So to me, I always say I like to do 10 days to 2 weeks in between,
Yeah.
because it gives you such a lot of insight that, again, when you do your soul regression, that will then build on what you've already got from your past life. I love it. It's phenomenal. And the difference in people that I've done is just, it gives them an understanding of thoughts, feelings, habits, behaviours.
Yeah.
And then, to me, the soul regression helps to alleviate, I feel, the fear of death. It shows you that there's to me, there's nothing to be scared of. And I know that's easy for me to say, but
that comes from experience now, because you've done the work.
Yeah.
So it is that whole, I always say, follow your curiosity. If you're listening to this podcast and you go, oh, soul regression, that sounds really cool. Or you go, no, I like the other one she said. What was the other one? You've got soul regression, and what was the other
Past
one?
life.
Past life regression. No, I like that one. Then follow that curiosity. But do your research. Ask around. Have a look at people. See, the reviews. You want to make sure you always go to someone that you feel drawn to.
Yeah.
Don't just turn up and go to anybody. Do your research, do it with a credible practitioner, and do it with someone who's got a bit of experience under their belt as well, because they're able to give you the insight and I guess navigate it better to get you, what you're looking for. But don't have any expectation. I always say, don't go in with expectation. Go in with a completely open mind and a loving heart, and just say, understand that you'll get what you need to get out of it. Because when we put expectations there, we always set ourselves up to fail.
definitely.
I didn't go in with expectations. I went in with the intention of finding out if there was a past life reason for this immense self-doubt that I was feeling. So I went in with that intention, and I worked with the practitioner with that, and that was we'll see if we can find out that, because I had done so much work on self-doubt in this life, and I was like, okay, well, it's still there, what's going on? And for me, it was amazing to then go, okay, brilliant, this was the source of where this all started. Now I can process that and go, all right, now I can move forward from it. Because once you realize, that's the biggest step, is like recognition and realizing. So that's what I used past life regression for.
Yeah, I think I did the whole, I think Mum passed, and then I did the whole Dolores Cannon thing and just devoured everything I could possibly find of her within days on YouTube, and then read a book of hers that I was just drawn to. There was she wrote so many, but I was just drawn to one, and I can never remember what it is, but it is there. Hidden Knowledge, I think it was. And I read it, and I was like, shit, yes, this somewhere in my body says hell yes. I had full body chills, and I was like, okay, I have to do this. I need to do I want to keep saying soul regression, but it's not past life regression. I want to do this. So I sought out a practitioner on the Gold Coast and did it. But I had never, ever meditated in my whole entire life. So this whole going down and going is just like, it was so foreign to me.
And it's the slowing down, and you just don't know how to slow down.
Holy dooly.
It's hard,
getting
man.
everything to slow down and just come down into that theta state was quite difficult for someone who was go. Yeah. But he got me there. He got me down, and man, when you do, because we did multiple. We did about 3 lifetimes.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah.
Sometimes you can do 3, sometimes only 1. It just depends what
comes up.
If you do a past life just out of curiosity, will depend how many that you're ready to.
I had.
You had your reasons.
He said, list what you want to do, and man, that list was huge because I was right at the beginning of my journey. So I wanted to know everything. Open the universe up to me. I want to know it all. Give it all to me. So
love it.
So it was really, really good. It started that curiosity thread, and I never looked back from there. It was just like, hell yes. This is the stuff that I want to learn and open up to, and then share. Because when we know better, we can do better.
Mine's very similar. I was 50 and a friend bought me Many Lives, Many Masters. And it sat on the bookshelf for about 6 months. And I think I'd just had an operation at that point. I think I'd had one of my hips done, and I was just like, I look at that book I'd always been interested, but never. And I started reading it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need this. And then it was like, okay. But even then, it took me another 2 years to go, I can't do hypnosis. I can't hypnotise people. Now, I don't bat an eyelid. It's done. You know, whatever you want, I can do. But at that point, I was like, no, I could never do this to people. And then I did the course and went, oh my gosh, I can do this. And yeah, the growth with it is just amazing. And it's changing. It's seeing a client come out of there so much lighter. They come out and they're walking on air. A bit like yourself after the reflexology. You're walking on air because you've released all that toxicity. You understand, as we said, with past life and even with self-regression, it's a process. But it's a process that you've already started to shed the skin and the layers that you don't need anymore.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we walk around
as heavy as
pretty laden with, you know, grandma's this and this culture's this and the government says this and, you know, mum's telling me to do this, and so we get all underneath all these layers.
I reckon, side note, I reckon that's why I hunch.
Oh, possibly.
And I literally said
carry it
today,
on your
I was
back?
like,
Yeah.
oh, the duster hits the ground, you know, and it's probably because I hunch, I'm a lot lower. And I'm like, yes, I hunch, I collapse, I concave on myself. And I was like, it's very interesting words for me. Very interesting
words. But nice that you're in observing, because that actually means that you are present.
But yeah.
For someone who's never
not present. No, but I just found it interesting because, like, for the last 10 months is when I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to look at all my baggage and my stuff and I'm going to start getting rid of it. But before that, I was carrying a whole lot of stuff and it was heavy. Oh, I got a hunch.
And a lot of it was not yours.
No, not mine.
It was just...
No.
We're meant to... The information, I always see it this way, information comes to us and you get a choice. You either keep it or you let it pass you by. If you're interested, I always say curiosity. Let your curiosity always guide you.
Yes.
If it piques your curiosity, bring it on in and have a look at it. If it doesn't, let it pass you by. It was never, ever meant for you. But we try to take in all the information. Well, we don't try. We do take all the information in and make it fit. Try to make it fit in one way or another. And no wonder we have no idea who the hell we are when we've got all these puzzle pieces that aren't even ours.
and everybody else's ideals and expectations of us.
Correct. Expectations and obligations, that is most of our weight on our backpacks. And when we can actually shed those, oh my goodness, it's so much lighter. And I love the fact that you call it that for soul regression and past life regression, that it is like you are lifting the layers, because that's exactly what every modality ever come up with, is to help you be the best version of yourself.
Yep.
And not be in suffering all the time, or in fear, or in anxiety, because I don't think some people realise that there is life without that.
Yes.
You don't have to live with that. Just like Chelsea actually thinks that she has to live with her eczema. And that's attached to her monkey brain that is, anxiety and fear and stressed out all the time. So she just lived with it. It's just like, it's there. I just have to live with it.
And you ask her, do you think you can fix this? And she goes, no.
It's there.
No, I don't think it's always going to be there.
She's programmed herself to thinking she can't get past that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So if people actually reach out and get some help with past life regression, with whatever modality that piques your curiosity, where you think, I could go and see them. They seem like it'd be a good fit.
But not only that, sorry to interrupt, but not only that, but releasing the stigma around the alternative therapies.
Yeah.
Because, mainstream might say they're alternative, but they're personally, I think they're extremely beneficial.
I think you'll find that they're actually becoming more mainstream
They are.
than what they ever were. They were always put on the outer, just like Julie was in her as a little toddler. She could never ever show who she was because it was always on the outer. But now it's actually being more acceptable because there is more evidence out there and more people talking about it, saying, hell yeah, go do it because it's amazing. It was life-changing for me. So yeah, I think try it. What do you got to lose?
Exactly.
Like an hour of your time, please.
Yeah.
What I would like to touch on, I want to talk a little bit more about the aromatherapy actually, because I think it's a really easy, simple introduction into modalities in itself that people can do and implement in their everyday life. Do you want to explain about aromatherapy?
So I do aromatherapy. The way I do it is I call it an aromatherapy consult. So most of us have brought, and I'm not mentioning names, but aromatherapy oils of different companies.
One particular company. Yes.
And we have them in boxes or on shelves or whatever. But we haven't got a clue how to make the most of them.
Yeah.
So what I do is I tailor make a consult. So I have you come in, I have a chat with you. We work out where your stresses and things are in your life. I will then, you show me, or we have a list of what oils you've got. We work through it and I tell you how to make the most out of them, to use up the oils you've already got, to then sort of work with the oils on a daily basis. So oils can be used for skincare, they can be used for stress release, they can be used for food, they can be used, some of the oils we can use for
pain relief.
For anything and everything.
This is one of the most ancient modalities that goes back, like, I know the Egyptians used aromatherapy big time.
And reflexology, because that's that they were my first love. So when I'd never even heard of them. When I went through my cancer treatment, the cancer hospital was 2.5 hours away, so I'd drive 2.5 hours to go and have chemo or whatever I was having, and then I'd drive 2.5 hours home.
Wow.
It was a bit rough, but every third week I could have a free treatment. No, I'd never heard of oils. I'd never heard of reflexology. And hell no was this touching my body with what I was going through. But I had my feet massaged. I'd have some oils just applied to my legs and my arms. It was for me at that point in my life. It was life-changing.
Yeah.
So once I'd gone through all my treatment and I'd had my mastectomy and reconstruction, I looked into it and I went, do you know what? And aromatherapy was always my first love, because your smell is your biggest sense, and I go, well, it's your olfactory system. Within so many minutes, it's in your brain and it's calming you down and everything. Reflexology then happened to just be one of the things I excelled at as well. But aromatherapy, I've always used oils. Even when the kids were younger, even when I didn't know what I was doing, I've always had oils around me. So learning the oils and their benefits and their properties and how you can mix them and make potions, because that's how it was really weird, is how do you make potions? Well, I don't know, but I know that works with that works with that, and if you put it together it smells amazing. Oh, how do you do that? I don't know. You just put 4 drops of that, 2 of that, and it's this inbuilt knowing for me, the oils. But the aromatherapy for me has been life-changing. Is as little as lavender on the bottom of your feet to help you sleep, a diffuser with your oils in at night time, just to have by your bed. You don't have to have the light on, just to have that going, because it gets your nose, opens your sinuses, but it also helps your lungs to de-stress. It helps your body to relax. So your deeper sleep helps you repair your body, your systems, and helps your organs. It helps your whole body to, I suppose, revive at night, so you're getting a proper good night's sleep. So, but even having the treatment rooms and the people I have different blends for different clients. I know who's coming in. Sometimes I get one-offs and I go, yep, that's fine. If I know somebody's coming in for something specific, as you were saying, with the past life and the soul regression, there's oils I use that relax people even deeper than your basic lavender. You know, it's ways and means. The theta music helps. It's using all those little things that you know.
It's all ancient knowledge.
It is.
All the knowledge coming back, being used to help humanity.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Thank you, Julie. But you want to
I was just going to say really quickly, but even for someone like me who loves oils, love my diffuser, put my diffuser on all the time, just some of the stuff you said then, I'm like, oh, really? I can do that?
Yeah.
Really? Wow. So maybe I need to do a little bit more research on that,
A
because
friend of ours actually does a first aid kit.
Oh, does all
and
that.
You go and she will show you all the blend. Teaches you how to use them. And instead of having a pill popping first aid kit, you've got an actual natural oils.
Well, you've got
first aid
peppermint
kit.
for headaches. You've got lavender. You've got
And you would be surprised. Don't knock it until you try it, I say, because you would be surprised how much quicker peppermint oil can work.
Penetrates quicker because it's straight to the brain. It's not going to have to go and bypass all your stomach and your stomach acids to go through your system.
It's not doing all these opposite,
and
other
not giving you
things.
fatty liver disease and all that, because that's what a lot of the pills do to you.
Oh, I love it. Like, I just started a hormone balancing oil. It's been great. Like,
on embellish says, do you want to explain that?
Sorry. So it's every night before bed, just a roll across the lower abdomen, and that's literally it. And then it helps to rebalance all my hormones, because obviously they're out of whack, so they need balancing. But instead of going and having to go to the doctor, get my bloods done, and then get a prescription for something to take, and then it being a horse tablet and being massive, it's a one roll every night, done, dusted.
And you're already feeling the benefits.
Already feeling the benefits. And like, then to realize like, oh, all of these other symptoms are then related to this. And then the I suppose the cure or how to fix this is literally an oil that I just have to roll on. So much better.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It is amazing. So that's why when I said to you, I do a consultation with the oils you've already got.
Yeah.
Work with what your needs are. So you came to me, you go, oh, I've got hormone issues. I'd go, okay, so how are you feeling?
Yeah.
And then we make notes and I go, okay, so this. And then after the end of the consultation, I will give you a big sheet that writes down, okay, this is for your hormones, this is for, and it gives you a, I suppose, what is it, a layman's terms of this oils or these oils are good for this and this. So many drops, so you can empower yourself to make your own blend and move yourself forward.
Yeah.
Because you do, and you get to a point where you intuitively choose.
Yes.
You will feel it and be like, this and this.
Yep.
So yeah.
No, but that's
thank you, Julie. That is amazing. You have been
having me.
a wealth of knowledge today.
Great.
It's been fabulous. So thank you for joining us on the couch today.
It's been fun.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the couch today. We see you, we hear you, and we love you. Until next time, beautiful people.